All right, welcome back to the sports show on that damn YouTube. Opening day here in Detroit, yes sir. I'm not going to be out there getting drunk thrown up everywhere, though I have done that before. I think the year that we signed Cabrera, what was it, '07? I swear to God I had a blackout for about 2 or 3 hours. I ended up in a strip club somewhere in Southgate, right? And I ordered a pizza, and the woman did not appreciate that when I ordered the pizza. And it was funny enough, like a couple weeks later, I ordered pizza from the same place, and they're like, hey, is this going to? I'm like, no. Why would I order a pizza there? And I realized what happened during the shenanigans. But opening day, happening opening day. How are you?
Doing well, sir. Doing well. Wish it was a little nicer out. I mean, it's some decent weather yesterday. It was like 70. Now it's
it's
overcast
been worse,
and like 40.
It's been worse. I remember last year Cabrera hit that home run. Yeah, I don't know if he was in Antarctica or Comerica Park when the fucking thing went out. I didn't think he even knew where it hit. Remember that? He didn't know where the hell the ball went when he hit that home run. But opening day, getting down here in Detroit, we'll run over some of the standings, some of the surprise teams in the standings here so far in baseball, and then just jump right into it. In the American League East, the Rays, don't call them the Devil Rays, 6-0. Wow. Yankees following behind them at 4-2. Baltimore 3-3, Toronto 3-3, and the Red Sox at 2-4. American League Central, Cleveland in first place at 5-2. Out west, the Texas Rangers 4-2. The Angels doing something. It's early, but the Angels are 4-2. Houston at 3-4. In the National League, we got Atlanta Braves on fire at 5-1. Mets 3-4. In the Central, Milwaukee in first place, kind of surprising. And out west, the Dodgers at 4-2, followed by the Padres. There are your standings on Thursday, whatever the hell day it is. I think it's April 6th, right? Or 7th. Is it the 6th? Something.
It is.
Something like that. At least I know the year. I know it's 2023, so we're off to a good start there. But there are your standings for baseball. Any surprising teams that kind of stick out there for you?
The Rays at 6-0.
Yes.
I mean, I think they have a lot of good young talent, and everybody knew that they were a good team. But 6-0 is just bonkers. I mean, you had the Tigers come down there and gave them a couple of wins, so it's helping the cause.
Hey, those Tigers are red hot right now, buddy. That offense is lighting it the hell up. Torkelson hitting a bomb. Yeah, Tampa Bay, man, always consistent. They're always going to be in the mix, whether it's 500 or at least at some point competing for the division or a wild card. But yeah, off to a hell of a start at 6-0. Yeah, the Rays doing what they always do. They kind of remind me, honestly, though, of like the Pittsburgh Steelers or Baltimore Ravens in the NFL, where they're never going to tank, but they're just consistently good across the board. Out there in the National League, man, Atlanta 5-1, Milwaukee 5-1 too. Out of those two teams, obviously Milwaukee's the surprising one, but Atlanta just doing what they've done the last couple of years, man, just consistently winning, like we talked about with Tampa Bay. So many good young players on the Atlanta team. They've had some injuries though. Their starting pitcher Wright's down, Fried's down too. But even with the injuries they have on the pitching staff, that offense, Matt Olson smashing it up out there for the Braves.
Pretty crazy to me, Houston at 3-4. But when you think about who they have injured too, like you're missing two of your biggest pieces in the lineup, including Altuve. So that's kind of a big deal there. That's kind of affects you a lot.
Yeah, I think the Astros are going to be all right. I really don't. I don't have any worries about them as far as moving forward. It's so early. What do we got? I can't do math. 158 more games? 53? Some shit like that.
156.
There you go. Thank you. 156 more games to go. So, yeah, I'm not worried in any way, shape, or form for the Astros. But losing Altuve does suck for them. But you still got popping that bat with Altuve, Alvarez. But that series against the Tigers, man, that felt like playoff baseball out there, didn't it?
Yeah, it was a good environment all around. That shot Torkelson hit, oh my God, he almost hit it out of the ballpark.
That ball's still going. I think it might hit my fucking house.
Yes. Oh God, my window just got hit by something.
Oh no. But yeah, so many good rookies too, already making their debut. Jordan Walker out there hit his first home run for the Cardinals. He had an amazing spring. And Grayson Rodriguez got his first start out there for the Baltimore Orioles. The guy was throwing 95 plus. It seemed like every time he was reaching back to throw it. So rookies just continuing to get plugged into baseball and showing right up.
The big surprises for me with Milwaukee doing that well, their third baseman, Brian Anderson, dude's hitting 500. He got 3 bombs already and 10 ribbies. He got a 1.6 OPS.
God damn.
It's just nuts.
Is that Babe Ruth?
It might be. Guy's hitting the cover off the ball, man.
Good stuff, man. So, but the Detroit Tigers, opening day going. We're coming in here, what are we, 2-4 at this point. Torkelson finally hitting a bomb. Riley Green, defense, man. He's had some nice plays out there so far, only 6 games in. But it's the pitching that worries me moving forward. I mean, look, this team isn't going to win probably more than 75 games at the max, and that's even probably pushing it. But at least we've seen some competitive side when they went over to Houston and the battle against these Astros teams. Like I said, man, those felt like playoff games out there. Pretty cool to get some high-intensity games so early in the season. But 2-4 really isn't that bad when you look at the way they had to start the schedule against Tampa Bay and against Houston. To walk away 2-4, not too damn shabby for the Tigers. That offensive production in the first 2 games was rotten, though. It was horrible.
AJ Hinch seems to have a different lineup every game, and it's very, very weird to me.
I think he's just trying to figure it out. I really.
Yeah, that's what it has to be.
Yeah, because he really doesn't have much to play with. Even like guys like Matt Vierling, who had that big game that he had. Who the hell's seen that coming? I think he just kind of plugged him in there and was like, oh shit, what did he go, 4 for 5? And that clutch home run that he had. So their bullpen's been pretty good too, though. That's the other thing. It almost seems like their starters are the ones getting smashed, and their bullpen comes in and kind of holds it down, at least as much as they can. But yeah,
Turnbull's starting today. He's got a 27 ERA.
That's what I was just about to ask who's starting for today, because I didn't even check it yet. So usually that's shit that you know right off the bat. Yeah, Spencer Turnbull is going to be your opening day starter. What was his ERA? Say that again.
27.
I think that's how many points he scored in his high school basketball team per game. Holy
It's okay.
shit.
Chris Sales, the other pitcher, and his is 21. So I'm sure they'll both, be lights out.
Yeah, we might have like a 13-10 type one of those games here, like they typically do. I remember the Tigers back in the 90s, man. Those offensive teams seemed like every opening day they were putting up numbers with Cecil, Mickey Templeton, Rob Deere, with Travis Fryman. Remember Travis Fryman? God damn.
Yeah, man. Fryman was a damn good third baseman. There's only 4 guys on Boston's roster that are hitting under 300. So,
yeah, Rafael Devers, I know, has been off to a tear out there for Boston. And what they got?
Verdugo and Duvall, center fielder.
Over there, Anthony Volpe. He's only the 5th player in MLB history to have 3 steals in his first 3 games. Lighting up the base paths.
Damn.
Yeah. He's got off to a pretty good start, man. Like I said, baseball's just been on this renaissance almost, it seems like, for rookies, where a lot of these prospects, they actually are living up to the hype, which really wasn't always that way. Phillies off to a horrible start. Obviously, I know the injuries are going to be playing a huge factor into that. You don't got Bryce Harper. You don't have Rhys Hoskins. But, man, if they got off to a bad start out there in that competitive AL East, and you don't want to fall behind at this point, even though it's early. Every team out there is loaded with the Braves. Philly's not off to a good start.
I think the 2 teams that I'm most worried about, I got to say the Mets, and I got to say Philly, because Atlanta could really run away with that division. And, I mean, yeah, it's April, it's early, but the more you get behind now, the more you got to try and catch up later. And New York usually sucks in the second half of the season. Like they literally, I mean, how many games in a row did they lose into that postseason last year? They were terrible. They barely made it after they had was it a double-digit lead in that division at one point?
Yeah, and that's a scary thing, like we talked about in the opener, man. The Braves aren't running at full capacity right now. Max Fried and Wright are hurt. So once you plug those 2 guys back in consistently in the rotation, they're going to start running away with it. And I'm not going to brag here, even though we didn't edit it. I did have the Braves winning the World Series out there. I just didn't see that, Philly, even before Hoskins got hurt, because I think we did it before Hoskins got hurt. Bryce Harper wasn't in there, and I think that's when they were going to make their run, is once Harper got back in that lineup. But the Braves are already 5-1. I'm not going to say they're running away with it yet, but it's starting to look like that, especially when they get 100% with that pitching staff.
For what it's worth, too, the Braves are the only team in that division with a positive run differential. Everyone else has a negative one.
Yeah, that's going to help, man. The Braves just the best, I think, well-rounded team, maybe besides the Houston Astros, as far as having good pitching, good offense, speed, defense. Michael Harris, man, that guy, him and Ronald Acuna Jr., those are superstars the next 10 years that are going to be out there for the Atlanta Braves. So many good players that they've brought up through their organization. Just incredible the way they do it. Almost kind of like Tampa Bay, except Braves spend a little bit more money than Tampa does. Tampa's broke like me. If I own a baseball team, it probably would be like the Rays.
So the Tigers did a clubhouse revival or whatever, like refresh.
Oh.
So the beat writer posts a photo. Oh man, look at this new entrance. In the photo, you can see a big ass sign that says "Coming soon, new entrance." So he's saying they redid the entrance, but they did it. They did it.
Was it held up by duct tape?
Yeah, I mean it does. It kind of does. Like there's no floor. The floor is gone. The door is held open with a piece of sandpaper, and you got this big ass sign "Coming soon."
Yeah, they need to go back to
what
Home
a
Depot.
Shit show.
You go to Home Depot.
I guess
or Lowe's and fix that shit.
We're waiting on the clearance sale, I guess. Shit.
I mean, Torkelson, if Torkelson finishes, to be honest with you, I don't give a shit what his batting average is. I just want to see some power out of him. Is 20 unrealistic for Torkelson? That's pretty, right? 20 should be
I feel like that's, for the power that he had been billed at, like, I feel like that's a minimum that he's got to hit to be, like, there, like, the thing that annoyed me, I'm going to go on a little tangent here. The thing that annoyed the absolute hell out of me early in the season were when he was getting no hits, everyone's like, but his exit velocity, it's like, cool, I can hit a ball hard, but I can be out every time. It doesn't matter. Cool, he's hitting exit velocity. Is he getting hits? No. Okay, it doesn't matter. I'm not an exit velocity guy. I think it's a stupid metric that, man, this guy's hitting 0.96, but his exit velocity's high. It's like, cool, call me when he hits some home runs. But I mean, it's like, I view that as like, oh, how fast is his slap shot? It's like, is he scoring goals? No, but his slap shot's fast. It's like, okay, nice story.
See, for me though, like the exit velo, I do pay attention to a little bit, but it's where he's hitting it, because he was hitting a shitload of ground balls, just smacking them in the dirt. The line drives, it's at least showing you got good contact on it. But yeah, I agree though. Yeah, if you're batting 0.80, but your exit velocity is like 180, well, what the hell's the point? But I think it's at least showing that you're making good contact. But like I said, for me, the problem was he was hitting so many balls in the dirt, nothing even in the air or line drives in spring training. So he's at least kind of turned that around a little bit. All right, so we're going to do some Detroit Tiger predictions at the end of the year. We'll check out and see how close we came. First, we're going to start with batting average. What do you think Javi Baez finishes at this year for his batting average?
235.
235? Oh, man.
Yes.
That's horrible.
Do you know what he's hitting right now?
I know what he's hitting on my MLB The Show. He's leading the goddamn league in batting average. I think he's hitting like 420, a blistering pace. He's going to finish with 400. In real life, though, 210?
096.
096? You're kidding.
096. Nope.
What's his on base?
Oh, let me pull it up.
096 is horrible, man. What did you say for Baez? 210? No, you said
235.
All right, you got 235.
He's hitting 095, 136 on base, 095 slugging, 231 OPS.
He's had
5 strikeouts and 21 at bats.
He has a 135 on base. Holy shit.
Yes.
That is fucking awful for an everyday player. We're only 6 games in, but oh my God. All right, so you got Baez finishing at 235. I'm going to give him some slack. He's never really been an on-base guy and a batting average guy. I'm going to go 245. I got Baez batting 245. Riley Green, what do you got Riley Green's batting average at?
That's a good one. I'm going to go 275. That's a good, decent number for him to hit.
Good choice. That's what I got him at. Well, you know what? We'll change it so it's different. I got 270. I think 275, 270 is pretty good. All right, let's slide over to the home runs. Torkelson, what do you think he finishes at?
You know, I'm going to say 20. I think 20 is a good estimate.
Yeah, I got 20 as well. I think the power 20 should be doable. I think 20 should be doable. What about Austin Meadows?
Can I say 0?
0?
The guy just
not very damn nice.
The guy just doesn't have any power this year. It seems like
he's not
only
going to hit
singles.
0 though. He's not going to fucking. I tell you what, if Austin Meadows plays in 130 games and has no fucking home runs, I'm trying out for the goddamn team next year. I'm going to go Meadows.
I will say. Go ahead.
I'm going to say 17 for Meadows.
I'm going to say 5.
What the hell's your problem? You don't like Austin Meadows, do you? Can't stand him.
I hope he proves me wrong, but
I hope he does too. Holy shit. 5? I mean, we're expecting him to play in about 130 to 140 games. If he finishes with 5, man, that's Torkelson numbers from last season. All right, Riley Green. You know what? I'm gonna go 15. I got 15 home runs.
I'll go 13.
13. All right, RBIs. I don't know if anybody's going to crack 100 with this team just because I think the on base is going to be so low to even drive anybody in. Torkelson, let's go 70. I got Torkelson leading the team in RBIs with 70. God, that's still low though, just even looking at that. But I got Torkelson at 70.
I think I'll go the same. I think he's probably the logical RBI leader, probably around there.
Okay, Meadows, you'll probably say 3. I'm going to say 60. I got 60 RBIs for Meadows.
I'll go 45.
God, that's so low, man, for an everyday player. All right, Baez. You know what? Baez has a swing and miss kind of attitude where he's just up there hacking. He'll run into one every now and then. But his place in the order, you know what? I'll go 65. I got 65 RBIs for Baez.
Let's see, what did he have last year? I mean, it's a good estimate. He had 67 last year. I'll go 65 as well.
65. Okay, for ERA, I don't know if anybody's going to crack under 3.5. I really hope they do. Turnbull, I'm going to put Spencer Turnbull at. Oh, God. You know what? We'll go 4.20. I got Turnbull for ERA.
I'm going 5.
You know what? It was really sad. They might lead the team in ERA too. He's having a 5 ERA. Matt Manning, my guy, who I have a shitload of rookies behind me in baseball cards. So I love Matt Manning. So, you know what? Fuck it. Matt Manning, you know what? Live up to the hype, my man. I'm going to go 3.25 from Matt Manning today on the year.
I'm going to go 3.8.
3.8. That's not too bad. What is he? This would be his second full season, I think, right? Second or third. COVID
3.18 right now. Yeah, I feel that.
All right. So there's your predictions for the Detroit Tigers. We'll go ahead and put this in a time capsule somewhere and unbury the damn thing come October. We don't say September no more. They play so many damn games. So in October, we'll go ahead and see where we're at on this. You know what we should do too is a win-loss total. We didn't do that yet. I got the Tigers going. Oh, I don't even know, man. I'm trying to think. 65.
My brain doesn't work like that.
Yeah. All right, so I got the Tigers going 65 and 97. That does equal 162. I had to use a calculator to figure that out, but yeah, I don't think they crack 70 wins, unfortunately, this year. Where do you got their win total at?
I'm gonna say they're gonna win 60, and I think that's being generous. I think realistically they're maybe a 50-win team. I think too. I'm gonna make a prediction. I think Hinch leaves after this season.
Oh man, that is a gutsy call right there. You know, I didn't think about that, but yeah, you might be onto something there. Who the hell wants to sit in that dugout and have that many wins they have to endure? Losses. Who wants to endure that many losses on the season? That's a good call. But I think if the team starts showing some promise, let's just say Torkelson does hit 30, Riley Green, let's say, hits 300, and Manning maybe makes an all-star team, and then you're getting Mize back for the start of next season, I could see him ride out one more year just to kind of see where the team's at moving forward. The pieces are there as far as glimpses of talent. They just need to get a full damn season with everybody. And I mean everybody. Mize, Manning, Job, Green, Torkelson, without any injuries, and especially on the pitching side, and kind of see where we're at and get a perspective. Because with all the injuries all over the place, you're kind of like, well, you know, if they had Baez or if they had Green or if they had Torkelson, so you really can't get a good perspective to see where this team is moving forward. I mean, obviously they're still in the rebuilding mode, but at least having some glimpse, you can kind of tell when they're going to start attacking free agency. Because I think that's when you make your moves, you know, it's when you kind of are rising up. And that's when you start going to sign the big free agents. Really no point to do it yet at this point.
One more take on that before we move on. I think for them to get better with this rebuild, obviously, I think I'll say three things have to happen. Obviously, Cabrera's going after this year. It's a big contract off the books. You know, great career, but he doesn't have it anymore. They got to figure out a way to get Baez off the books because that's a terrible contract. He's dead weight in the batter's box most of the time. And they got to get rid of Erod. Those are my three takes that if they want to continue the rebuild, those are the three. But one is for sure after this year. And then the other two, they got to figure out a way to get out of those contracts because those are some of the worst contracts Al Avila has ever signed.
No. I got a worse one. Jordan Zimmerman.
Oh, Jesus Christ. That takes the cake. That takes the cake.
That was brutal.
There's a reason my Nationals were like, deuces, we're not even going to try and match that contract. It's all yours, Al.
Yeah, well, Strasburg ain't doing too well out there either. I forgot what the stat was that I seen on him, but since he signed that big contract, I think he literally had like 17 innings pitched or something like that. For the Nationals, that's a shame, though, because Strasburg was one of those once-in-a-generation talents. To see him crash and burn like he did, but they got a World Series out of it, so, hey, that's all you can hope for, man, is just get a World Series, and if it's 10 or 15 years later, who gives a fuck? At least you got your ring. All right, real quick, we'll just slide over and do a little bit of NFL talk. Aaron Rodgers, still, he hasn't gone anywhere, man. What the hell's going on with this?
I have a hot take on that. I don't think he plays next season.
Oh, you think the Green Bay, as far as Green Bay kind of just blocking everything?
I think, from what I've heard, both sides want guarantees. The Packers want a guarantee about if he leaves, that they're going to get certain things no matter what he decides. If he decides, hey, screw it, I'm actually going to retire. And the Jets are in the same way. They're like, well, if he retires after this season, we want guarantees from you that you're going to absorb contracts and stuff. So that's a disaster. I wouldn't touch the guy. Yes, Zach Wilson sucks. I wouldn't touch Aaron Rodgers. The dude's going in the woods by himself and doing mushrooms. I'm not.
That sounds cool.
I'm not touching a quarterback. He probably has no clue what's going on, so it's probably really cool. But I'm not touching the guy. I'm just not. It's the guy's a head case. He's infatuated with himself. Do you really want that guy at quarterback? I mean, he didn't even make the playoffs last year.
You know what? Honestly, I would take him, but how funny would that be, though? Let's just say this trade doesn't happen, and the Jets went out and signed all these fucking guys. You got your quarterbacks on the roster already feeling like shit because they don't want him no more. They're going after Rodgers, and you made all these free agent pickups, and then you don't land Aaron Rodgers. It's almost like you have to just do whatever it takes to get him because even you haven't signed him yet, you're pretty much at this point all in with the moves that you made and it being so publicly out there that that's who they're trying to land, your only backup would be Lamar Jackson. So let's just transition over to Lamar Jackson, because that situation's getting just as weird as Aaron Rodgers is. I don't know what Baltimore's going to do here. They've said publicly that they want him back. Lamar Jackson doesn't seem to want nothing to do with them. So what do you do with that? Like, Jackson, I really thought, actually, you know what? Here's a question. Who do you think goes to their new team first, Lamar Jackson or Aaron Rodgers? It's not as easy as it should be, because one of them has to be traded.
So there's two things that could happen with both of those that I think are going to happen. The Ravens hit him with a restricted tag, if I remember right, like a restricted franchise tag.
Right.
I don't think he's going to play.
Yeah, he has to sign. They give up 2 first-round picks, whoever it is that signs him, if they don't match.
I don't think anybody's going to trade for him because his asking price on his contract is too high. And I think the Ravens are going to want too much. That's my take there. I don't think he plays. I think he sits out like Deshaun Watson did. And
Lamar?
I think Rodgers sits out. Yeah, I think he sits out.
Oh, wow. I wasn't expecting that answer.
He's totally thrown the Ravens under the bus on his social media, which, I mean, it's another topic entirely, but come on, how old are we here? We're going to go on social media and trash our team?
He's 20.
Like, if you don't want to be there, yeah. They act like they're 15 now, but, I mean, Kyler Murray did stuff like that. These players go on there and they remove all references to the team. Who cares?
Yeah, I agree.
Grow up.
I know. I don't get that shit either. I really don't.
Grow the hell up.
Unfriending someone on Facebook or some shit. Yeah, I think Lamar Jackson, I think there's a couple teams, though, that are kind of... I think the Patriots, honestly, might make a run at them, which sounds weird because they never spend... They always do a good job of budgeting, and when someone gets to a point where they feel like they need to cut them, and they don't give a shit who you are, unless you're Tom Brady, they're letting you go. No matter how many interceptions you had, how many Super Bowls you helped us win, you're walking. They're pretty tough when it comes to that, and they don't like handing out the big money. But Lamar Jackson in New England makes a lot of sense, especially if Aaron Rodgers goes over to the Jets, because you kind of have to keep pace. That division is going to be absolutely a mess next year with Miami being good, Buffalo, and let's say the Jets do land Rodgers, and for some reason the Patriots are able to pull off and get Lamar Jackson. God, you talk about a battle out there within that division. But I think what really surprises me, though, is that you don't hear Washington in the mix, the Colts in the mix. I think we did it on the NFL podcast we did a couple weeks ago. Houston would be the perfect fit. They can afford to give up a draft pick because they got 2 first-round picks. You lost Watson last season. Why not go all in and get Lamar? That one kind of confuses me why they're not making a run at him at this point. Lamar Jackson be Houston be a perfect fit out there. Actually,
like I said, I think it's an asking price. I think all these teams. I mean, like, just think about the career field that we work in. Like, if we walked in tomorrow to our bosses and said, I want a fucking guaranteed 5-year contract, they're going to tell us to walk out the door and get screwed,
They tell me yes, because I'm already telling them on load management. I'm on load management. I can't work more than 5 days. I can't work more than fucking 8 hours. It's almost playoff time. I'm making a fucking push.
Especially the type of quarterback Lamar is. Like, disproportionately, the running quarterbacks have short careers. They think about every single one of them that was ever good. They all had short careers. They just did because they get beat up more.
Yeah, that's 100% fact right there. That is true. All right, there it is. We got our predictions for the Detroit Tigers. Went over some MLB baseball, a little NFL there at the end. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe. Happy opening day. See ya.